Live from Studio 3, this is Packaging Today with Evelio Matos, Adam Peak, and Corey Connors. Happy New Year!
Hey.
Hey!
23.
Let's do it. All right, guys, what do we got going on for 2023? Got a lot of stuff happening.
The year of sustainable packaging. It's my prediction.
Right. Dude, 100%. We're seeing a lot of cool stuff happening in sustainability. What do you got, Adam? You launched something pretty amazing.
Yes.
I did. Launched some a Loge skincare line with my son. It's Venus Lube. And it was fun, man. We're up to about $1,000 in sales.
Wow.
Nice.
So in our first month, so that was exciting.
That's amazing.
And yeah, it's been pretty crazy. So he's excited. His friends are excited. It's just cool to get a teenager and to get a group of teenagers pumped about something that's not like sports or video games. So
Yeah. And just showing them, like, you know, how you can start something from nothing.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, we got an order yesterday actually from our friend Amy, Shark Tank.
Lamebach.
Fearing Amy from Big B Little B. And I was like, hey, like text him. I'm like, we got another order. He's like, all right, I'm on it. He went down and printed off the shipping label and packed it out and did all the stuff. So it's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Awesome lesson.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Also, I decided to keep a mustache for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, you're not sure what you're doing with that stash. So like half of it's like curling, and the other
I don't know. No, this is. I just woke up. Normally, it's not. I don't know what was going on with it, but
I support it.
I don't normally have hair, so I'm not used to like getting up. I've been feeling super hot, so I just rolled out of bed for this, and I put on my Happy New Year Spec Right hat.
Sweet. We got Jonathan Quinn. Happy New Year, buddy. Thanks so much.
Hey, Jonathan.
Man. See if we can get to see you, connect with you again this year. Brandon, thanks as always for being here.
Hey, Brandon. Good morning.
Good stuff, man. We got some good stuff going on. Corey, what do you got going on this year?
Well, we talked about predictions, and I'm really excited for the podcast this year. We just passed over 31,000 downloads, and I'm excited to see what is happening in the world of sustainable packaging, because people are making real moves and real changes for the better, for the most part. There is some greenwashing and some not so stellar things going on still. And I'd like to be a part of urging people to stay away from those. But I'd also like to encourage people to join forces and help each other learn about sustainable packaging and make real positive impacts this year. I think the podcast is going to take off. I'm really, really seeing that. Evelio and I will be in Paris in just a few weeks, which will be amazing.
Keep rubbing it in, guys. Jeez.
Lots of travel. Adam and the three of us will be in California for Westpac, February 7th through 9th. The exciting things coming up this year. Really, really cool. Looking forward to it. How about you guys?
Evelio I'm seeing in the comments, it says Happy New Year, guys, and happy birthday.
Oh,
Evelio.
Oh yeah, it's somebody's birthday today.
Today is your birthday?
Yeah, today is my birthday.
Your parents, man, December 31st would have gotten a tax break here in the U.S.
Happy birthday, Evelio.
Thanks, man.
Wait, do we have a...
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Little birthday energy.
All right. Thank you,
You
Mario.
you look great for 31, by the way.
Yes.
Dude, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, I try. It's that Venus Lube.
Yeah. If you want your skin to be supple and smooth, pick up a tube of Venus Lube.
Oh, nice.
Bars.
We got jingles.
That was a good. We got jingles coming out.
We do.
Venus. What do we got here? All right, there's some cool stuff happening. All right, so yesterday I saw on was it was like CBS This Morning or something, like whichever one has the sun on it.
That's anyway. Packaging Today. Packaging Today has that.
It was on Packaging Today yesterday. If you guys missed it, it's because it wasn't on.
Yeah. Well, whatever that show is with the old
We
lady.
still record it.
Yeah, the old lady that talks and has a son in the background.
Mm.
I don't know. It's like I couldn't even tell.
Good Morning America.
That maybe I don't know.
Mm.
Anyway, they spoke about this new leather, which was pretty interesting. It's coming out of Illinois, and it was this group that have been around for about 7 years, and I suck because I don't know any of the information, any of the details, but I'll find it and I'll post it. And what they're doing is they're actually taking like waste from cork and waste from different plants, and then they're combining it with like natural materials, so like natural rubber, to create these leathers and leather alternatives. And Allbirds is launching a whole new line of shoes with this material.
Right.
And their I guess their big offering is the fact that they've got this faux leather alternative that's not poly based, right? Where majority of vegan leathers
Right.
are vegan because people don't eat plastic and they're just
Right.
covered in plastic. So this one's kind of was pretty interesting. I want to dig into that a little bit more, kind of just learn more about it and talk to those guys and see like really what they're doing. And what the idea here is that you can actually shred those shoes and then
Oh, that's cool.
just spread them out in your garden allegedly, and then they break down.
I
But
love seeing the use of waste and turn it into new materials. That's awesome.
yeah, 100%. You just gotta you just gotta ask questions, right? You just can't get caught in the hype because you never quite know. This thing was pretty interesting too. Is like instead of wrapping fruit and vegetables in plastic, this new spray on wrapper, which was pretty interesting. It breaks down. You can wash it. You can scrub it off, which is pretty cool. But as we know, you do need some of these plastics on the fruits and vegetables in order to keep them from going bad. It's a big part of it, unfortunately, but it's kind of the way that it works. It was CBS Sunday Morning. Thanks, Laura. I knew somebody would know what that was. Yeah,
Thank you, Laura.
It was pretty good.
Laura works with me at Myers.
Oh, see,
we hire the smartest people.
you do. She wasn't working. She was watching. She wasn't working yesterday. She was watching CBS Sunday Morning. Busted.
I mean, it was Sunday. I would hope not.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But, yeah, this is pretty cool. Like, I learned that with like cucumbers and zucchini, usually you see those guys wrapped in plastic. A lot of the times it's because they actually transport those with tomatoes.
Oh,
and one off gases, and the gases that it releases actually help ripen the other fruit. Sometimes they tell you if you buy fruit that's not ripe enough, you put them together in a paper bag. Well, imagine a big truck full of these two products that help each other ripen up. You want to keep those protected from each other. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Thanks again, Laura.
I was just talking with my wife about. I was like, hey, we should. Are we still going to try to do a plastic-free February where we just only buy things that don't have plastic? And we've been looking at it for the last couple of months. Like, okay, how would we do this? And she said, I don't know that we'll be able to eat. Like, I don't think we quite realize how.
We're not there yet.
How widely used plastic is until you decide, like, what if we didn't use this? And you start looking at it, at least here in the US, like go to any grocery store outside of like, I think there's one here in Salt Lake City that we have to go check out that is a like no packaging grocery store.
Yeah.
And we're going to go check that out and just see if we can pull it off. But it's like, I mean, it's almost impossible because of the things that you said, right? Like how stuff is transported in supply chain necessitates plastic. You can't ship it, and then the product's all going to show up bad, which is super wasteful. So
yeah, right,
yeah, that's cool.
And I got to tell you, that's like even like at the moment, I don't know what you guys are doing, but here in Arizona, there's no eggs, right? I think we had Hugh mentioned, this is a big part in the fact that there's no feed, right? And it's like it's kind of, I don't know. There's just a lot going on. I think last week I paid $8 for a dozen of eggs. Which was nuts. And then now this week there's like zero anywhere.
Yeah.
There's like an egg black market.
Well, it was, it had to do also, wasn't there like a bird flu or something that impacted a lot of the supply?
Yeah, as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
You have a lack of feed, and then you also have a disease. And yeah, I mean, same thing, right? Came back from Costco. It was like eggs are like 3 times as much money. Like, yeah, it's nuts.
Wow, I can't
That
believe
has nothing to do
cookies.
with packaging, but
But it is everything that kind of just everything kind of does tie together here, which is what's not. It's not just packaging. There's a lot going on everywhere at the moment.
yeah, my prediction, if I may, for
Yes.
2023 is I think that we are going to see a ramp up in the focus on clean energy.
Mhm.
And because you had that announcement late last year about, was it nuclear fusion
Yeah.
that's happening,
Really exciting.
where that was pretty cool. I think we're starting to see a little bit more focus on the fact that like some of the like I have owned an electric car, I have solar
Mhm.
panels on my house, like, but that at scale is maybe not going to be the answer. That's only wind and solar, like part of the solution. But
Yep.
when it comes to other alternatives, I think we're starting to see a more broad approach to energy. And why I think that's important is because a lot of people will focus on packaging, and they'll run their LCAs based on carbon impact, which is not a bad thing to do, right?
Right.
But if the real focus can be then eventually taken off of carbon impact, it can be placed on other things, I think we'd see a lot more innovation. I think
Yeah.
that the waste conversation and the carbon impact of the waste, or just the carbon impact of manufacturing of the packaging or whatever it is, I think if that were to sort of start to come off the table a little bit, we'd see a lot more things like the spray on food innovation, or the whatever that was. I think we'd see like things like hemp begin to get a lot more investment.
Yeah.
Because right now it's like that's the whole conversation, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying that's correct. It would just be awesome if in the packaging industry we could have a different conversation, because the industry that is really the industry that needs to get its head on right, which is energy. Right now, if we were to just displace like coal production in China, just with like natural gas exported from the US, that would be the largest impact on global emissions in the world. It would be insane. So, there's just stuff like that I'm paying attention to, and I'm starting to see a lot more innovation around. And the trickle effect down to the packaging industry is maybe that's not going to be when somebody goes into Compass or whatever, like maybe they're not going to be as focused on carbon emissions. Maybe they'll be more focused on water usage. Maybe they'll be
Right.
more focused on, single-use plastic versus paper, whatever it is. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to start to see more of that. It's not all going to get solved in 2023. I'm just hopeful that we see more innovations there.
Yeah, 100%.
Me too.
100%.
I think we're going to see a lot more reusable packaging too. I think that's coming in a big way. You mentioned eggs. Why couldn't an egg carton be reusable? Why couldn't we have that program, something that is used weekly or biweekly? It makes sense, and I think it will come to fruition sooner than later.
Could we have the conversation about that?
Yeah.
I think because egg production is largely centralized into certain areas and it's not local, by and large. I mean, certainly it could be local,
Right.
but like, how are you going to go? So let's say you had your eggs and then you had to ship a rigid thing of eggs, your packaging back to, Yuma or wherever in Arizona, and you're living in North Dakota.
Right.
Right. And then it has to get cleaned. It has to get processed. There's a large cost, I think, because of the way that our supply chain is set up for single-use packaging.
Right.
I think that's going to be the most difficult hurdle to overcome for large-scale, broad-based, reusable, especially when it comes to food, because our food production is not localized.
We have to localize the cleaning. We have to localize the processing of the packaging.
Yeah.
And I think that's in the works. I'm seeing it. I've interviewed 2 companies that are working hard on that right now. It's going to take a long time, but I think it will be very possible. The secondary part of that whole thing is recycling. If you have a thermoform tray for your eggs, it's PET. Will that be recyclable at the grocery store? I see that coming as well. The molded pulp is very recyclable, easy to recycle for most of us, or many of us, I should say.
Yeah.
But lots coming in that zone. I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah. I mean, unless they just ship the eggs already scrambled, then you're set.
Yes.
Oh, that's the best.
See, you don't have to worry about it.
In glass.
How does everyone know it's your birthday, Avelio? That's what I want to know. What did we miss?
Yeah, you didn't tell us.
I think LinkedIn is now like the new Facebook. So like it sends you messages. Hey, it's so-and-so's birthday party. I don't know. Thanks. I appreciate everybody, with the shout outs. I got to tell you this. All right. So for 2023, my prediction is that we, Adam, Corey, and I are going to partner with Mr. Fred Richards. Mr. Fred Richards is collecting I don't want to say collecting. He has collected the largest sampling of packaging on Earth. And he's, wow. I spoke to him a couple weeks ago. Fred, sorry if I'm sharing something I'm not supposed to share, but you've got like the most amazing set of packaging. If you look at Fred's profile, he's got some pictures of some packaging. It's all historic. He travels the world, collects packaging. Amazing stuff. Some of the cool stuff to see.
I'm excited to see it, Fred. Nice to see you.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see some really cool stuff. I'm excited. I'm super excited.
All right, I just sent Fred an invitation on LinkedIn to connect. Yeah,
good stuff. Can't wait to see. Can't wait to see where this ends up. But it's a huge learning opportunity for designers, for agencies to just see what has worked over the last 100 years in terms of packaging, what continues to work, what's kind of shifted its way out. You can see trends come and go throughout the packaging design over, just historically. I mean, like I said, it's from all over the planet. And the interesting thing too was just looking at all of the packaging that's been collected. And we were talking shipping containers worth of packaging. There's really no plastic. It's all paperboard, aluminum, steel, like just a variety of different materials, but rarely any packaging over time. So pretty cool stuff.
That's exciting.
Awesome.
Definitely cool stuff.
Let's do another prediction, Avelio, because clearly you are the expert on this, or at least you pretend to be online.
I play one on TV.
Yeah, you started the foremost LinkedIn page on machine learning and AI and its impact. I don't think I'm going to say not just in quick design, because clearly that's really amazing, but also I've been on this bandwagon for a while. Like, wouldn't it be great if you could go to a Midjourney and say, you put in the prompt of what you're trying to get, or you go to like chat AI or whatever it is, you put in what you're trying to buy, and then it gives you the pricing and 10 people to go talk to.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be either one of those. I'm just saying this idea that it could impact so much more in 2023 and beyond. This idea of machine learning and AI, if it can do that, what you're putting out on the packaging AI page, what more is it going to do, and how is it going to bring speed to market to companies that really embrace it, designers and manufacturers alike?
Yeah. So, all right. So if you're watching this, go follow Packaging AI on LinkedIn. We share a bunch of stuff. I mean, just right off the bat, first, some really cool stuff happening in there was Terry Campbell. I had him on the podcast. His YouTube videos up, and he's a photographer, food photographer. He does like Baskin Robbins, like Jimmy John's, all this crazy photography for food. And he explains how he's using AI, and he's got like a 80-inch screen, LED screen. He's putting up like, kitchens and backgrounds and incorporating that into the shot versus having to go and rent a kitchen and clean a kitchen and like pay for all of it and getting it all set up.
That's brilliant.
You can change things out. right? So there's people that are actually using it today and being able to create some really cool things from the design side. On the flip side, in terms of like what you're asking about, at the moment, people are now using Chat AI to search versus Google, which is really interesting. There's no advertising on Chat AI, so you can search for any type of information, ask any type of question that you typically would ask of Google. It's not giving you localized information like, "Hey, where's the best taco place in my town?" It's not giving you that level of detail yet. But I can't imagine that Google, with all of its capabilities, isn't already building out its own version of AI that will be able to do that type of stuff and be able to give you that information. The problem with that, though, is that Google makes money on advertising. So how it'll rank those answers, I'd be concerned, right? Is it a pay to play to be included in there? Will you have like 10 ads and then it'll give you the right information that you're asking for? That's where it gets kind of weird. But like Pacdora, those guys are doing some really cool stuff on AI at the moment. So like, you go to pacdora.com, and if you've got like one size of packaging, they're working on being able to extrapolate that into smaller sizes, right? Which is like versioning, which as a designer, and I talk about this with Nick Longo, who's from the DGDC podcast. And those guys that's a huge podcast. They get like 10,000 downloads a week. It's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. But he's, like a big part of his job is doing the versioning, right? It's like you do the design, now you've got to version it out to like 10 or 20 different SKUs. Well, Pacdora will allow you to do that. Just have to click of a button. Then you got to go back in and just make sure everything's correct. There's a lot of ways that it's going to make things faster and easier and allow you to focus on the important stuff, right? Like if you're on the sales side, it'll help you focus on sales. It'll help you gather the information that you need to provide better service. If you're on the buying side, they'll be able to help you make sure that you're, looking at across, at everybody at the most competitive pricing, at the most competitive solutions. And hopefully we'll get some better information on sustainability and materials and things like that it'll be able to deliver. But yeah, it's right now it's just pretty wide open.
Are designers embracing it, or are they shunning it for the most part?
There's two different.
Two.
Yeah, there's two sides of this. One is from a designer standpoint, the copyright, right?
Yeah.
So OpenAI was built by scraping art from all of these designers without their knowledge, and it's been placed into this. So when you ask for anything, any type of image, it's pulling from these resources that didn't get permission. Right? They didn't opt in to being incorporated into this thing. But then there's also like music AI, where you can create your own music, and in their licensing agreements, it tells you none of this music was scraped from copywritten music. Right? And the reason is they don't want to get sued by artists and record labels and all these other people. But for the visual side, they just took everybody's stuff, which isn't fair. It should be the same. But the fact is it's here. And at some point that hopefully that will work its way out in terms of, payments, lawsuits, et cetera. But it's not going to change. We're still going to be using AI to develop anything, packaging, type, whatever you can imagine. It'll be a part of the creation process. I know there's a few agencies out there that are actually building their own AI with, training their own AI on their work that they've done over time, so that anything that's being generated is actually inspired by the work that they have done. So it's really specific to them.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. It's not something that I would ignore. It's just, how do you incorporate it into your work? And actually, in Paris later this month, that's all I'm talking about, is just how to incorporate AI into your workflow, and what it's gonna turn into. So hopefully, when anybody walks out of there, they can start designing from, after those first 30 minutes.
Let me tell you my favorite thing about all of this is, I mean this sincerely. I really do. So a year ago, when we're talking or whatever, there's no conversation about AI. This was really something that happened, and I think kudos to you, Avelio, because you were the one who was like, I'm not afraid of this. I want to go dig in. I want to go take a look. I want to learn it. In a matter of a few months, you had a page started. You were on Midjourney. You had a book come out about how to use it. Like, you just dove in and provided a service to all these packaging designers who are out there, who I think most of them were like, oh gosh, this
Right.
is a little scary.
Yeah.
And I think that you really demystified it and are doing an awesome job with that. And I really mean, like, the fact that you just were like, oh, I'm not afraid of this, let's go at it, is going to have to be the attitude for a lot of people going forward. Like, we cannot be afraid of technology in our industry. We have to be willing to look at it, dive in, and go, is this worthwhile? Like you and I did a little bit with like NFTs, and I was like, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know what to do with this. And it turns out there wasn't a whole lot to do with it, right? Like, as of now, but keeping your eyes open and your ears open to this sort of stuff, and being willing to say, like, I'm just going to go learn and see what's there, I think is really cool. Cause I think that this has a lot of staying power. The AI has a lot of staying power, and I just love that you went for it, and here you are. You're going to go to Paris to talk about it in a matter of months. So I think it's cool.
Days.
Very cool.
Days. When are you guys going to Paris?
It's like the 16th.
Yeah, I'm flying out the 20th. It's the 25th and the 26th is Paris Packaging Week.
Yeah.
I posted about it today on LinkedIn if anyone's interested.
Yeah,
very exciting.
Same. Come check us out. But I appreciate it. I mean, there's a ton of stuff happening in AI. I mean, there's everything from image generation, like the Midjourney, the Stable Diffusion. Both of those are a little bit different. There's Write Sonic, which is a copy AI version that helps you write SEO stuff. There's Riff Fusion, which helps you develop music. I mean, there's so much stuff. Like Palette.fm is a cool place where you can upload like black and white photos, and it'll automatically colorize it, and you can change the filters on to change the coloring. And I mean, there's some really crazy stuff. Like, obviously there's Copy AI, which does some really cool stuff. It is like endless. I mean, the number of new apps popping up every day is endless. There's a Rewind AI, which is a search engine for yourself. Teachable Machine helps you create machine learning models that you can use in different areas of your business, of your personal life. It's nuts. I mean, I think right now people are just developing new apps for every opportunity. They're not all going to be unicorns, and they're all going to be around next year or even next month, but it's something interesting to check it out. There's Boomy that does like music. It's all copyright free music that you can create on your own. The podcast AI is really cool, and that's one that you can listen to. Joe Rogan and Steve Jobs have an interview that never actually happened, and they've got Lex Friedman interviewing some other people as well, and it's like insane, like really crazy stuff.
My son made a song just using AI, and it was J. Cole rapping about Kanye and Adidas in like 5 minutes. It was wild, and you could tell it was AI because it said like Adidas, like it didn't really know how to say Adidas, but
that's how they say it in
Europe. Maybe it's European. Maybe you're it's European.
I don't think it's say Adidas. But no, it was crazy. Like, he did all the lyrics through AI, and then he put it into like a vocal, whatever it was. Oh no, and Jay-Z. It was J. Cole and Jay-Z rapping about Kanye when he lost his contract with Adidas. This was obviously before, like, he lost his contract with Adidas, and he went, like, it's a whole other podcast, right? But it was wild to listen to, right? Like, it was pretty crazy to hear. He's like, listen to this. I'm like, whoa, that sounds exactly like J. Cole and Jay-Z. It's like, yeah, all through AI. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, crazy stuff, man. There's a lot going on. I know GitHub's got Copilot, and there's another one that was really cool. Oh man, I can't remember what it's called, but it's similar to Copilot, where you can actually apply. It's a Chrome extension, and then you just type in, or you can just through voice. Like say, for example, you're on Zillow, you can say, "Hey, I want to find a house in Denver for 4-bedroom near a good school, blah, blah, blah." And it'll just scrape Zillow or Redfin or whatever, and then pull up the best ones that match your description. And then you can say, "Hey, can you schedule a visit to these 3?" And it will call and have a conversation and say, "I'm scheduling a phone call, in-house meeting for Corey between the hours of this and this." And, it'll respond back and forth, and it's just like all this goofy stuff. It's like a built-in assistant.
Imagine that with sales. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And for Excel, like it does it for Excel. Also, if you open up Excel, you can, highlight these things, combine these things. I don't know Excel, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But from a tool perspective,
rectangles.
Yeah, there's crazy stuff that this can do. And from
I
a sales
consider you're not
perspective,
going to highlight Kirk in the comments, totally calling you out for all of your. There we go. Thank you.
Hey,
I just wanted.
I'm going to Paris.
It's my birthday. I get to go to Paris.
Morning, Kirk.
Velio Matos packaging today's show with the Velio and guests.
Hey, 2/3 of us are going to Paris.
It's my birthday.
Oh, Kirk. Do me a favor. Listen to Kirk's podcast. Where Kirk, Andy and I have a conversation about AI, which was pretty intense. And I don't even mention I'm going to Paris on that one, but I am, Kirk.
Have to re-record.
That's right. Yeah, definitely check it out. Good stuff. As we wrap up here, any last words, Corey?
Oh, I'm excited for this year. I'm hopeful and excited for 2023. I'm thankful for 2022, although some tough things happened, and they all worked out for the best. And I want to give a shout out to my brother Chad, who passed away last year. I miss him dearly, and very thankful for all of you. And give your family an extra hug, and get your colonoscopy, please.
Yeah, I think that wraps it up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Corey.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we will see you next week. All right, can't wait to do this again. And everybody, please, join us, share this. We appreciate you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.